All right, let's dig in a little bit about Facebook. Now, sort of 9/10 of you guys will probably find LinkedIn the best platform to use for your prospecting activities. But that kind of that locks out sort of the 1/10 of you guys as you know, who might actually find Facebook a more useful network to kind of focus in on, or maybe even Instagram as a more useful network to focus in on. I'm going to focus in on Facebook for this particular lecture. Reason why is because I myself and Cine Roboto, my business, we found Facebook to actually generate us business. So as part of what we do as our behavior plan for our social selling, we put out a vlog and a bit of video content every single Thursday, and then we kind of reinforce this with additional posts and photos and other stuff that we share around, and curated content and all that kind of good stuff as well based around that also. What we started to do was we just started to whack it up on Facebook because why not? Our audience wasn't really on Facebook, but we thought, you know what, sod it, let's give it a try and see what we can do. And then we were surprised when we started getting business in. Wasn't expecting that. You know, I sort of expected really Facebook to be more about for my network and for the people in the businesses network, really kind of friends and family and that sort of stuff there. So when we started getting work in, it was like, okay, maybe we need to pay a bit of attention to this because we can actually start to utilize this in the right sort of way if we can learn what the right sort of way is. Now, fortunately, I spent a number of years of my life playing in bands and as a musician, and musicians utilize Facebook in a very, very big way. Most musicians utilize Facebook in a very, very big way, and we certainly did. So learning how to do things like boosting posts and establishing audiences and stuff like that was something that we were pretty good at doing straight away. But that kind of puts me in a good position now for this lecture to be able to share some of this stuff with you guys, albeit a little bit quickly. It's not going to be a mega long one because, you know, this isn't for everybody, but it's definitely worth mentioning and digging in a little bit and trying to share some of that knowledge and information with you guys. So how do we go about doing this? Where do we start? Well, one of the things about Facebook is a lot of the time it's a very personal network and social network, in that, you know, it's certainly more of a social network than LinkedIn is, whereas LinkedIn, you know, there's an argument to say LinkedIn isn't even a social network, it's just a networking platform. Facebook is not that. Facebook is very much about the social side of things. So, you know, going in with heavily handed prospecting messages won't work necessarily quite so well. So it's very much a pull marketing kind of network, and we need to establish a difference between our own personal profile and a business profile. Unfortunately, that's really easy to do because you can set up a page through Facebook. I'm not going to show you how to set up a page at the moment because that could easily be 10 minutes in and of itself as a lecture. But what I will go and do is I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about how to maximize what you can do from that page and actually be able to get some interaction from an audience based off the back of that. So let's just assume that you've already created your page and let's dive right in. So here we have the Cine Roboto page. This is my business, along with all this other good stuff that you would normally find. And what we're going to do is, say you posted up something already, so you'd already written the post, you'd clicked on the video or photo tab, you'd attach something onto there, and the post is good to go. What you would find is, however, if you were uploading say a video through there, that it would then just quickly upload the video and you wouldn't really be able to get into the advanced bits of information that you really want to kind of dig into a little bit more. So instead, what you would want to do is you would want to click on more and go to publishing tools. Most of your posts would be, you know, utilized with publishing tools, especially if there's video related content in there. So you click upload, and then you're going to kind of want to find your post. Here we go. This is a good example piece as we go through. So whilst this uploads, what can we do? We can add a title here. So this is about lighting tips. So 3-point lighting tips for dummies. You can learn how to type. Then you add a bit of description into here. Want to learn how to light your vlogs? What does illuminate you? Oh God. So I'm sorry, it's awful. You want to put way more information into there and really kind of thicken this out a little bit more. Add a couple of hashtags, vlogs, something like that. Tags aren't largely that important when it comes to Facebook, but I always try and add them in anyway, just in case. I know, filmmaking and photography. There we go, cool. Then once that's uploaded, then we could then click on the thumbnail here, and then we could then select a thumbnail. We could add a custom image here. if we wanted to, we could just use kind of the automatically generated one there. Thumbnails are quite useful to get that right, because then, you know, if someone hasn't loaded the video, when they go down their feed, then that's the thing that they'll see. So find, you know, not choosing this one here maybe, or this, oh god, that was bad. Maybe not using that would be a good idea. I think in fact the default one's probably not a bad shout actually. Will allow you to, you know, actually be able to put up something that looks half decent. Subtitles and captions, once that's finished uploading, we would then be able to either auto generate the subtitle files, or if we were using the stuff that we've generated ourselves or had made for us by something like rev.com, written up for us, then we can then upload it through there. You can then click on next, and then you can choose all your posting options here. Not going into crazy detail for this sort of thing, because, you know, this is very much a specific vlogging kind of thing, but I just wanted to kind of very quickly share with you about that, because what I really want to dig into on this lecture here, that's saving, is I want to tell you about, once you've posted that, how you can go about getting a little bit of reach and a little bit of traction with the prospects that you might want to connect with, because Facebook's really powerful for that. So first of all, you want to share any posts you put up to your own personal profile, I would assume. So to do that, you want to go down to your post here. You'll want to change this over from the business page through to your own personal page, and then you can then share it from there. Click share, write something in here, click the post button, and there you go, boom, you're done, you shared it. But say you wanted to try and reach maybe a really hyper specific audience, and maybe you want that audience to be able to click on a specific link that you want to then share with them. Well, there's a way to do that. It's through the boost post button here. So you click on boost post, and then we have an entirely new menu option pop up, which is really cool. So objective, what do you want from this post? Connect and chat with potential customers through Facebook's own platform, which you can do if you want to. I'm going to focus in here on getting more people to watch your video as well as we go through. So let's go for that. And we want to add a post button to there. So we want them to be able to actually sign up to this thing, because this is for the Udemy course we just put out there. So choose the link for this sort of thing. So what would we want to go to here? We'll find the udemy.com. There's a link as well that we can go onto there, but then they will click onto that, and then this is for instance, but yeah, you get the idea. And you would then be able to go down to there. Oh, hang on, doesn't actually exist. So there we go. Even checks your destination for you. Fine. Right. So then it goes down onto here. Then this is the bit that's really, really useful here. What your audience who your audience are, I should say. Now, what Facebook will often have just tick straight for you is people who like your page, or people who like your page and their friends. Or it may even have an automatically generated audience sort of sitting there waiting for you. Don't choose that. You absolutely want to dig in through your own audience that you've created through targeting. You might want to even create multiple campaigns with you know, half the budget, and create 2 campaigns to see what kind of works well and what kind of, you know, generates actual business and actual interest based off of the posts that you're boosting. So we're going to choose people we would choose through targeting here, and then we want to click edit and go into there. So okay, so here, what sort of audience have we got already? 21 to 35 year olds based in Congleton, England, who are interested in filmmaking. Well, that's not gonna, that's quite a specific sort of audience here. So why don't we extend that out a little bit more? So let's go for, say, 18-year-olds to 18-year-olds to 35-year-olds, and then rather than just the current city, let's choose a radius. So why don't we choose a 50-mile radius? Have a look at the map there. That's pretty good. That covers, you know, Manchester, Liverpool, Wolverhampton, bits of Birmingham as well, Derby, Nottingham, Sheffield. That's pretty huge. Also 1.1 million people there, so that's not a bad little reach as we go through. Field of study. So let's assume that I've not typed in anything in with this kind of course stuff already. So here we have 5.3 million people. That's as defined. I would say that's too many for what we're looking for. So say this post is boosting with the aim of attracting people who are interested in filmmaking. This is for instance, you guys would obviously do this for your own particular industry. So here, let's say filmmaking is an interest. There we go. And we've got loads of different types of filmmaking come up. Field of study, employers' interest. Field of study, hey, let's find some students, to get some students on there. Well, that's only 1,000 people within that region who are within that range who Facebook says have filmmaking listed as the field of study. So let's definitely find that as an interest as well, so we can add more into that. There we go, add it as an interest. There we go, 1.6 million. That's more like it. It's not the 5.6, 5.8, whatever it was before, but maybe it's a little bit too specific. So maybe we have we want to kind of exclude some people there. So maybe we want to exclude business owners already. Don't know why we would, but you know, I'm trying to find a bit of an example here. So exclude business owners as employers. Still too many. How about if we're trying to exclude photographers as well? Okay, not the wedding photographers, just photographers. photography. There we go, that's what I was after. I'll get rid of business owners there as well. 170,000 people, that's nice and defined. That's a lot of people there. With this stuff, you want to really kind of try some stuff out, try some ideas out. Don't spend too much on your first couple of boosted posts. I would actually run multiple campaigns to try and get an idea of kind of who you'd want to target with this stuff, because specific is terrific when it comes to this sort of stuff. You really want to kind of dig into the specificity here as you go through. So that's a good audience. Save that. Cool. And then as we go down here, automatic placements, I leave this switched on. If anyone disagrees with that, I'm absolutely open to hearing out why you wouldn't want to do that. But duration and budget, so how long do you want to run this for? I think run it over a relatively short space of time. I'd like to kind of be able to see, until you've established who your audience are, and really you've got really your audience targeting stuff that's gone up at the top here. You've got that kind of down and really kind of nailed. Then I would keep it over a shorter campaign length. 20 quid just makes sense because you're reaching 2 to 5,800 people a day. Spending 4 quid a day, that's pretty good. Pixel is worth setting up a pixel. The more you do this stuff, that is the tracking link that allows you to then be able to track your adverts, and you can link it up to a website. So if you have a web page that has like a catch-all page, you'd speak to a web designer about kind of doing that, and there's some stuff you can do with that is quite cool. And then obviously payment information at the bottom. Once all that's done, you can then click the boost button, and then there you go, you've actually boosted your page. And what you could do is, how could you expand this further? Well, if you have marketing people, then you could create a landing page that you would then introduce people to, that's specifically targeted at the stuff that you're trying to do here. Or alternatively, what you could do is you could have clicked on that connect and chat with potential customers at the top of your page to try and get people to talk to you through Facebook, to kind of message you directly to go through this stuff. So boosting is a really powerful thing. You can still boost posts rather than just to gain a sale. You can also boost posts to just get more eyeballs seeing the stuff that you're doing, and that works well too, because it's a relatively cheap cost. It doesn't it's 5, 10, 20 pounds to be able to kind of boost this sort of thing, and generally that can mean you can get a really decent reach on your posts. What I will say though is Facebook can be a bit naff if you don't boost your posts, because sometimes it will just absolutely hamstring the reach that you would otherwise have. So boosting posts does make a lot of sense as you go through, but maybe give it a try, see how you get on, and really this stuff is all about experimentation. So the more you experiment, the better you'll get at doing this stuff.